on really same thing. I mean, did the midweek game, do you think affected them at all? You know, I'm trying to maybe get the switches right on defense, that kind of thing.
No, I mean we got good teams in this league. I mean it's hard every night, and I think once Alabama saw that we had a little trouble defending, they just kept going to it and forcing us to do a better job. I thought we had a really good second quarter where we tried to string together some stops. But over the course of 40 minutes is what they do well, and I don't think we did it well. We didn't defend it well for 40 minutes, but you know we gritted it out and got enough to win the game on the road
On this
on
side here.
Eagles Sunday.
Sorry, Coach. Didn't mean to cut off the most important part of that. On this side here.
National some of Tuscaloosa News. I'll check that out for a second. But what does Alabama do well defensively? They were top 50. I know you guys are number 1, but they were top 50 in the nation. They limit you guys to 65. Just what do they do well defensively that maybe makes it harder?
Well, I mean they're committed to clogging the paint. I mean we usually do a great job at controlling the paint. It was a little stifling in there, it was a little crowded in there. We weren't able to hit the shots that we normally hit, and they're just really committed to it. And if you can take the paint out of the picture with a lot of teams, you put yourself in a position to win basketball games, and they did that today.
Over to Emily.
Coach, with Breezy, I mean, just so impactful on both ends tonight. What stood out to you the most about what she was able to do tonight?
One, I mean, she was ready to play. Like, I mean, she was guarding Davis, and she had the type of grittiness, and her stance was low, so she was locked in. And then from an offensive standpoint, she took good shots. I mean, these are shots, normal shots for her, that if she gets them 90% of the time, she's going to knock them down. They weren't rushed. They were in the flow of our offense. She was ready. Man, I mean, we do have the utmost confidence in her to take those shots. So it was a good day for her today.
In the front to Jeremiah, and then front row, and then Alan.
Yeah, Donna, I don't know if you realized, but today marked the 27th straight wins program record. I know you talked a lot about the class of 2019 and I guess kind of their impact on the team, but can you just speak to, I guess, the ability to reel off, a win streak of that nature, obviously expanding from last season up until now?
Yeah, we have a great group of core players, and if you want to start with that 2019 class, they are super connected. They are incredibly competitive, and they play with a oneness, and that oneness is to win. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter how it impacts them individually. They do what's necessary to win for the greater good of the team, and I'm not surprised that this particular group is the group that would do something like that.
In the front row here.
Ashley Woods with the Crimson White. Kind of going off of that question, how has the class 2019's willingness to avoid complacency kind of helped the newer members on the team just buy into what you guys are doing in South Carolina?
They don't just set the example. They set the tone. They communicate. They raise the standard of what our team is supposed to look like every single day. So I know we come out here and people see. They see them perform at a high level. Like, you just can't turn high level on in a game. You have to do that in practice. You have to set a standard that everybody's going to live up to that, and everybody does. And if they don't, then they'll hear about it. Sometimes they get mad, but that group of core players are used to winning. They've lost very little, and they don't like losing. So they don't like that feeling. So they're going to hold everybody accountable that's around them to live up the standard of winning.
Alan.
When you had a game like today where it's kind of uncharacteristic shooting struggles, Zaya was off, Beal was off shooting, what's the message to the bench? Just to stay the course, keep shooting, you lock in on defense? How do you kind of go about that as a coach on a day like today?
I mean, it depends. I mean, we weren't taking bad shots. We just weren't making shots. So you go to your bench, obviously, and I thought we got great contributions from our bench. But from a defensive standpoint, I thought we were there. It's just offensively, it's where we were a little stagnant, and we weren't able to accurately make some shots. But I'm confident in every single person. I'm confident even the people that did not get in. But it's hard. You got 14 players and somebody will suffer.
In the front, Jeremiah?
Don, obviously there's a kind of big game, I guess, looming with the UConn. Of course, before that, there's
No, I thought
Kentucky
you were talking
on.
about the Eagles and the 49ers. God, I was
After
so ready for that question.
Yeah, with that one coming up, and then obviously there's Kentucky on that Thursday before. Just what are some of the challenges in seeing, I guess, a game like that coming up, and then obviously knowing that there's another task at hand before that.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Kentucky, and we're going to stay focused on that. And the first things first is we think our league is super important to us to win the conference regular season and then the SEC tournament. That's something that we would like to do, and that's in the forefront. To play UConn in the middle of the season like that, I do think it helps us from a NCAA tournament standpoint, where you get a chance to, see somebody who is, who's been to the Final Four the last, I don't know, 20 years. I don't know, it's a lot. But to play that caliber in February, knowing that March Madness is looming, it's always a great thing. Because to beat UConn, I've said it before, is you just can't play them one game and beat them, because there's so much more to their tradition. So to be able to play them in the regular season and maybe possibly playing them in the tournament, it really helps you from a psyche standpoint, from a confidence standpoint, and if you need to make some adjustments, you can make some adjustments.
We'll go here in the middle, and then we'll finish up here on the corner.
Coach, Christy Curry passed the 10-year milestone to coaching in the SEC, and someone who's also coaching the ACC for over a decade. What is it like kind of going against somebody you're familiar with, not only just as a competitor, but just more like an old friend as well?
I think Christy's doing a great job, great job. I mean, she's made Alabama a really good job to have, and that's not always easy, especially with the powerhouses of what the SEC has been about. To do it now, I mean, she recruits well, she coaches them up, and it's hard in this league. Like, we've seen coaches come in and out of this league that don't have staying power for one reason or another. But what she's able to do is, be here 10 years and to put a team together. Like, she's got a lot of newcomers. You don't see coaches really get your newcomers to gel in, and the chemistry that you have to have, and that's coaching. That's coaching. That's culture, and she's been able to establish that.
We'll finish here on the corner.
You guys, you were talking about the NCAA tournament for you guys, obviously with UConn coming up and what that game means. But on Alabama, what do you see from them, and as they try to make the NCAA tournament for the second time in 3 years, and what do you see from them as like a tournament team?
Are they? Yeah, I do think they're a tournament team. I do think that I think they'll have all the right makings of it. They had a pretty good non-conference schedule. They're playing the SEC. The SEC always gives you an opportunity to not only make the NCAA tournament, to have a long run in it, just because it's so competitive. Like, you see a little bit of everybody's style of play, and it prepares you well once the tournament comes around. So, I would be surprised if they're not part of the 60. We're 68 now? Are we 68?
68, yeah.
I would be surprised if they're not a part of it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
They don't.
Oh.